Hello, everybody. Looks like we're back again tonight. Hello, Stephanie. Should be able to hear me. Let me go to my settings here. Audio. Yep, they can hear me. Good deal. Good deal. All right, let me get things all set up here. Get this camera turned back around correctly. Tighten that down so it doesn't move much. Let me get the screen cleaned off. All right. Got to get my iPad turned on. That way I can monitor the chat in YouTube's. All right, I am at the live now. I should be able to see. I see Stephanie's chat. That is awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Sunday evening diamond painting pen. I actually got that. My son pointed out to me I put painting, Paining. So no pain involved tonight, just painting. All right, we're just about set up, ready to go. We'll get that spinning. We'll get the big blower turned on. Hello, Carrie. Let's see. Okay, this is a green. These are customer orders here. Day of Dead, green. Turn like photos. Additional instructions. I don't even know what that means. Oh, she wants the vases. Carrie, you'll have to tell me what we're talking about here. It says turn like photos, additional instructions, but there are no additional instructions. I do have photos, but it says photo B, do like this exact style, 5-inch blank like photo A. And then photo A, do this exact. So which one is which? Event pens, same style as photo A and B. Oh, it's just the vases. I got you. I got you now. Yeah, they're the same. These are the same.
Yes,
Yeah, I got you.
but they're 5-inch instead of.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I made them all 5 inches. That's cool. We won't be able to do the whole thing with the bumps in the middle. Okay. Let's get out some tools here. Let's get out some line making stuff first. Because these are 5-inch pens, I'm going to have to, number one, find the center right at 2.5. And then let's try the old 5/8 trick here. All right. And then I've got to get some marks in there to do the bases. Yeah, I think that'll work right there. I got enough room for that one. Here we go. All right. That's what we're talking about. Hey, Sarah. Welcome to the stream. This is a very glittery pen, so it sounds a little different while I'm turning it because you can hear the crunching of the glitter. definitely is crunchy. Let's get some vases cut in here. That'll be our bottom. Now, as you can hear when you're listening, this end cuts totally different from this end because this end has very small glitter in it. This end has very large glitter in it. So you can definitely hear the difference. We'll make the bottom of our vases right here in the center. This is essentially the top of our vase. For the fluted section, this is a Halloween blank, by the way, for drills and chills, I think. I need to increase my airflow. Let's come over here. See what's hanging on our blower. Oh, not too bad, just a little bit. All right. Essentially, what was stuck in the blower, was this black and white stuff from the zebra pen. No, it was just blocking the grate. All right, here we are again. These are 5-inch pens that this customer has requested. Looks like Carrie is at the keyboard. That's good. I like it when she's in charge. Less for me to do when that happens. If you want a microphone, babe, it's around the corner there. So crunchy. All right. Almost done. Let's get out the big round one here. Shape that up nicely for finishing. Beautiful. All right, those are some good finger holes right there. On these shorter pens, in order to get some good design in the middle, you still have to be able to put a place for the fingers to go. So there's a lot less room down here. These are probably still just a little fat. But we'll stop right now and measure them, see how we're doing. And I'll turn my fan on here, keep the air moving around. Yep, that's still a bit fat, right about 0.5657. right, let's see how we're doing now. Took just a little meat off of that baby. Yeah, right about 0.52. Pretty good. Looking pretty good. Right now I'm looking for chunks of missing pen that won't sand out. And that's usually due to the, but it looks like it's all pretty good. No chunks are missing. All right, let's get out the diaper. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. Hope you had a nice weekend overall. I know I did. As most of you know, I was going to leather class this morning, and today we didn't do much leather, but I was learning how to take essentially a raw piece of metal and turn it into a blade. And I started off by sharpening my head knife. Here, we'll take a break. I'll show you what a head knife is. And essentially, it is the knife that you cut big chunks of leather with, or even cut out patterns in the leather. Let me turn off the blower here. This is the case I made for my head knife. This is my head knife. Pop that open. And it is a round knife. And I sharpened this baby, and it is literally razor blade sharp. And as an example, I'll show you. I'll cut through a little piece of leather here. Show you how sharp this is. This is a pretty good little chunk of leather here. And if you'll notice, I'll bring this up a little bit so you can see the whole operation. Hey, Doc. So Doc was teaching me how to do this today. Let me make sure that's on screen, and I'll cut this little piece of leather here. And essentially, it goes through the leather just like that. Lickety split. Get a super nice edge to finish off, and boom, it is good to go. So that's what we did a leather class this morning. And in the beginning, or in the second part, Doc had this old knife that was essentially a chunk of metal with a flat edge, and we have worked that down right now into at least a good shaped piece of metal that has a decent edge now that we can actually begin to sharpen. So that was today, and how fun that was. Yes, Stephanie, that literally cut like butter. I'm going to step up the sandpaper here a little bit. And that's the whole idea is, and everybody's heard this, this is nothing new, but dull tools are the ones that will cut you the worst, because you don't have a lot of good control with a dull knife. So you want to have a super sharp knife to do what you need to do. That means you'll make less mistakes in your leather and other things you're cutting. So Doc was teaching me how to sharpen knives correctly. And the only tool was a grinding stone and my shoulders. We did use a little grinder in the back to get a rough shape, but it really was a wax on, wax off kind of deal. A lot of fun, learned a lot, gained a bit of experience. And now as I start into the knife making trade, skill, craft, hobby, whatever you want to call it, I will have a bit more success because my knives will be fabulously sharp. And when I make a leather sheath for them, then it will be easier for me to make that metal sheath. Yeah, and that was probably, that leather was probably an eighth of an inch thick, maybe a little bit more. I don't know, what would you call that, Doc? 6, 7 ounce leather? 7 ounces being, or the weight being what a 1 square foot of that leather weighs. And they do it by thickness like that, and they call it number of ounces. I think when you get a cowhide that's tanned and ready to go to be played with, if you don't get it thinned down or made thinner, then it generally is probably about 13, 14 ounce leather. So I was sweating my noogies off today down there at Doc's place, working that blade. A lot of fun. Very, very old time fashion, traditional type of stuff. And it's what you got to know if you're working with knives in any capacity, whether you're gutting deers or cutting up squirrels or whatever else you're doing. Even if you're cooking in a kitchen, that knife has got to be sharp. And with that sharpness comes great control if you're cutting out a piece to put together with something else. So that was fun. I have a great time doing that. I remember sitting on a submarine 40 years ago, and guys would get out their whetstones, and now when I look back, we had no idea what we were doing. We were just pretending like we were putting edges on blades that we had. It's sort of funny. Think you know what you're doing, but later you learn you didn't really know what you were doing. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and believe me, he needed some sharp stones, didn't he? I mean, sharp knives. Get through that meat, a little bit of bone now and again. You definitely needed a sharp knife. And yes, stones are the way to go. Meat cutters, boy, that's not a dying breed, but I think they're all being hired by Tyson. I know that Walmart, I don't know how many, probably 15, 18 years ago, got rid of their meat cutters, and they get all of their meat from Tyson and already pre-cut and ready to go. And you know somebody's at that Tyson factory cutting that meat up. So that's where all the meat cutters went. All right, that's feeling pretty good there. Had to use a lower grit of sandpaper to start it off with because, again, this is heavily glittered. This is a very typical Bill Durr blank. It comes with lots of glitter. Makes the pen look fabulous when you're all done. Shiny, sparkly, all that good stuff. And by the way, Stephanie, I just bought some blanks off of Dank Blanks today that are flats that I'll be using for knives. And of course, you know their mixing ability and color selection and all that kind of stuff, just incredible. In fact, I bought these other ones. I'll show them to you here. I'll be using these for knife blades or knife handles as well. Here's one here. Got a little bit of copper stuff in it. Another one here. That'll be a pretty cool looking handle. These are super thin, as you could see. These orange ones are pretty wild looking on the inside. And of course, that one there, it's got crazy colors. So we'll work those into some pretty cool knife handles. Yeah, those guys do such a great job with those colors and the way they mix them. So much fun. So gorgeous. Well, we got 8 people here. Everybody say hello if you want. Feel free to lurk if you like to. Appreciate you being here, watching us turn some diamond painting pens. Don't be shy. Everybody's a friend. Hello, Judy. Hey, Judy, this happens to be one of yours. You probably recognize it. Hello, Shantan. Hey, am I saying that right, Shantan? I sure hope so. This is one of Judy's pens. Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, or Judy, correct me, but I think this is, excellent, Shantan, got that. This is one of the Halloween type pens. This is done in our, I don't know, made up format. It's called the Vases because this right here looks like a vase on its side attached to that one right there, which is a vase on its side. Ouch. Boy, that got hot. Whew. Man alive. Yes, ma'am. This is the first one. You haven't missed any of them yet. You're the first 4 up today. All right, let's get this wiped off. I'm getting ready to polish it and see this thing shine like the sunshine. So here's what it looks like before we polish it. Looks pretty cool. Still a bit dull. But man, hang on a second. It's going to get wild. This is my favorite part. Yeah, you weren't late at all, Judy. You get to see this one, and you can always rewind the video. It'll be on YouTube after we're all done, or Twitch, or Facebook. Again, we're live streaming to all 3. I was watching some streamers today on Twitch. They're actually diamond painters of all things, and trying to figure out how they're doing their thing. And they all have Discord. So I got a Discord too for the group. I just got to get it up and running. So I know how to operate it, and you guys know how to get in there and chat. And we could do voice talking. All right. And here comes the unveiling. Oh my goodness. Does that shine that up? Looks like diamonds in the rough. Oh, I got to bring that down. I was way up tall there. There we go. Yeah, that just takes that edge off and just really lets you see into all that glitter. Finger holds feel good, nice and smooth, figured nicely. Very cool. Well, I got to put my hand behind here to get it to focus right on that pen. See if we get that thing to focus on the pen. Still looks a little blurry. I don't know how to. I wish it had a fixed focus that I could just stick it right in there and go, wow. Very nice. Okay. Very cool. Alrighty. All right, let me see what the directions are for this one. This is rainbow paint, artist choice. Ooh, we got a really cool one to do with this. I think we're going to do the hookah pen. This is something we did a few times yesterday that came out way cool. Call it the hookah. All right, let's find us. See how many we get on here. Because again, this is a shorter pen. Come in about right there. And about right there. And then we'll find the center 2.5. And then we will measure from the 2.5. Let's see, let's do 1/2 inches today. And I think we can get 4 bumps out of that right there. Did I do that right? That doesn't look right. Oh, here we go. This one's off just a hair. There we go. Judy, we came up with this last night. It's probably an adaptation over the last couple days, but essentially each end looks like something that you would put your mouth on to either blow a trumpet or smoke one of those hookahs, one of those Turkish pipes with all the hoses on them. And it really, since I moved the fingertips more towards the end of either end of the pen, it gives us more real estate in the middle, especially for shorter pens like a 5-inch pen. An inch doesn't sound like a lot, but on a pen like this, it's about 20% of the space. All right, there's that first part. There's the center. And I did a couple pens like this last night, and I'm really falling in love with the design. It also takes a lot of girth out of the pen, so the pen becomes very light, but it's still super stylish. Be happy to, Stephanie. Yeah, I'm just really liking this design. Super usable pen, super light, fits in your hand super nice. Sometimes we just hit a home run by accident, you know? Ooh, that's smooth. I do like this glitter because this is a super fine glitter, and it's almost like turning straight up resin. Now, we don't want these sharp things against your hand, so we take them down a little bit and adjust the depth to get them to stand out just right. Yes, ma'am. You bet. The 5-inchers are becoming popular. We start with a 6-inch blank or a 5 1/4 inch blank, and we only became aware of that when the Emerald and Fairy Lights girl, I think her name is Lindsay, she was talking about how she could flip it around and didn't need to move the pen in her hand because as she flipped it around, it was already where it needed to be. So yeah, we're fans now. I mean, we learn something all the time, right? We never knew about it, and then Lindsay said, "Here's how she likes her pens," and we made her one, and she uses it all the time. So happy to keep her happy and give her what she wants. All right, let me do them. I think this was a little thick right here. All right, let's do a measurement. This is going to finish up really nice. I could feel how smooth it is. Okay, that's still a little thick right there. Oh yeah, it's way too thick. All right, let's do some finger measurements again. 0.52, perfect. 0.52, very nice. It's just over a 1/2 inch, which is super nice. All right, this one is ready to be done. How do you like that one, Judy? We call that the hookah. Oh yeah, that's going to be so smooth. I do like that micro glitter. Looks great, adds a lot to the beauty of the pen, and it's easy to turn. We keep this up. You're going to have to buy a CK. What's a CK? Yeah, this one's going to be brilliant. I can see it already. Gosh, I love these blanks. And since we got a couple watch tonight, Shantan and Judy and stuff that weren't here before, when I first started turning these pens, I used to think that my job as a turner was to turn as many cool things as I could on a pen so that everybody would go wow for the turnings. But in reality, I have learned that my job as a turner is to take a blank and get out of the way of its beauty and let it shine with whatever minimal turning I need to do to get it to be functional and gorgeous. So it's really changed a lot in the last 6 months when we started turning these. In wood turning, sometimes the turner thinks they have to make it as ornate as they can so everybody will be impressed with the turning. But if you got great wood, let the wood shine. Thank you, Shantan. Very nice. I'm getting better all the time, that's for sure. Getting better. Doc and I were talking about that today, talking about business, and as you're doing things, you know, why wouldn't you want to get better? Why wouldn't you want to get more efficient? Because efficiency is money, as you all know. And the more you can do efficiently, the more you can give your customer. And he was a little frustrated because he deals with some people in the cowboy industry, saddles and all that kind of stuff, that, you know, they get to a certain point and they're good enough and they don't know that they need to get better. And, you know, every time you make something new, you get better at it, you get more experience. So we're going to become maybe the cowboy consultants. How silly is that, by the way? Oh, yeah, this baby's going to shine. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you can see it already, even while it's spinning. This glitter in here looks like a glitter called Starlight Glitter. I have bought some of that, and we have done some blanks with it in there, and it does make it pretty. There it is. Let's check it out as we stop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that thing sparkle as I turn it. Oh, CK, a couple of more. Gotcha. Absolutely gorgeous. So nice. It almost looks like a Lawrence Welk pen. It's got so much glitter in it. It's beautiful. This is the Starlight Glitter. And that going in something, you got to put it in when it's almost cured though, because if not, it will literally go to the bottom because it's heavier than the resin. All right, let's pick up another one here. Now here's another Halloween one. And I believe this is also going to be in the vase. Yeah, this is Drills and Chills. And this is going to be very similar to that first one we did with the two vases. But I think to mix it up, I'll reverse the vases. so they face the other direction, just to be different. All right, let's get in here again. Got enough room to do that regular end. Let's find the center right there. Oh, I got to put the other marks on there for the vases. There we go. Shantana, you talking about the orange and black? If you are, it's very Halloweeny, isn't it? So this is interesting. You thought the end of this was all black, but there's yellow in the middle that's coming out. I'm not sure how much black's going to be left on this one. All right. Okay. Now we got to make the vases. So we had the vases going. I got to get the other pen just to make sure I got them going the right way. I dug that out. Now I got to dig that out. Okay, so the inner ones will be dug out. Yes, it's got a little bit black in there because if you notice, there's black in the middle here as I'm turning that one down. So it'll be a pretty interesting mix. We like to steal from Forrest Gump to say with a diamond blank or diamond painting pen blank, you never really know what you're going to get until you start turning it away. Some blanks you know because they're solid glitter all the way through, and you know what the inside's just like the outside. One of the things I've learned is that when you make these cuts down in here, that you have to make them a little bit wide to get the sandpaper down in there. If not, your knife marks will show. I remember somebody getting a pen from us, and there was a bunch of scratch marks down inside where I could not get the sandpaper down there, and I was a bit embarrassed. I even had one customer, I said, please send that back to me so I can fix it. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. I said, well, let me point out to you what I'm seeing, and if you want to keep it, then great. If not, please send it back. And I pointed it out, and she goes, oh, I never really noticed that. See, it's like when you're making it, you notice all the little tiny things that aren't absolutely perfect, where the customer doesn't see it much. And I gave her some money and for some postage, and she sent it back, and I widened those little valleys up and sanded it nicely, and turned out to be a super nice looking pen. Actually, the whole pen was pretty good anyway. It's just those little scratch marks were driving me nuts. And I'm not here blowing my own horn. Everybody would do that. That's in good customer service. I used to be a Walmart store manager, and the thing I didn't want someone to do is drive past my store and say, I'm not going to go to that store because of whatever. I want to make sure they always wanted to come in my store. Now what I want to do is make the top of this little vase over here a little more pronounced. Here we go. Work on that fluting just a little bit. I call this, did Carrie get it? Oh, Drills and Chills. The pen's Drills and Chills or for that event, but I call this, we call it vases. So there's essentially two vases in here. If you sort of look at it like this and tilt your head sideways, it looks like a little vase or something. And these are 5-inch pens, so you don't get if you look on the website and it's a 6-inch pen, you get 2 extra knobs in the middle that are not vases. They're just decorative. But this is a shorter pen, so you don't have the same real estate to do that. All right, let me get these little bottoms cleaned up here. Yes, ma'am. And hey, if you see one on the website or in the group or something, just tell Carrie And then we were referred to the other night. I think I was doing one for Stephanie, I believe, and she said she wanted it like in a minute or 1 hour 44 minutes on some video we did. So we went and looked at that video and able to recover that particular design. All right, this is turning out nice. All right, let me do some measurements for the finger holds. 0.55, 0.57, still a little thick. While we're here playing with the finger holds, let's talk about the anatomy, in my opinion, of a what the end looks like. This is sacred real estate right here on the pen. This one and this one down here. The whole idea is to make it just the right thickness that your hand can grab it easily and not require too much energy to hold on to it. That's why we sort of do that matte, that satin finish, if you will. It takes less energy to hold that than a shiny pen. This little bumper down here is when you're placing the drill on the canvas, you can push against this here, which takes less energy to hold the pen while you're pressing. And then the rest of this is just decorative. But you need a nice little slope for your finger where your finger fits right in there, just like that. So that's how I think of the pen. Other turners may do something different, and that's awesome. And maybe I'll learn something from them someday, because, you know, I'm just making this up as I go along. But the idea, if you're going to be drilling and chilling for 6-7 hours a day, you need to have a really nice, comfortable pen to hold. Or at least I would want one anyway. Yeah, 0.53. Okay, by the time I sand that, that'll be down another 100th of an inch. It'll be just perfect. Right about 0.52. So there actually is a lot of black on this one. I thought it was turning away, but that's going to look pretty cool. All right, let's get I got to pull out the heavy duty coarse stuff because this is a little bit large on this end. This is actually a lower grit than I normally use. Yeah, I'll bring that other one back over and show you the butt to butt and the head to head, the vases. And I just change them up so you don't have them looking all exactly the same all the time. But it's still the vases, which is a pretty cool little turning. And by the way, I didn't make those up. I just call it the vases. I probably saw it on some pen somewhere and just borrowed it gently. All right, let's get these valleys sanded out nice and good. By the way, most of you already know this, but the wet stuff I'm using is just water. Nothing fancier than that. Just keeps the sandpaper from getting all clogged up, and it reduces the heat. All right, up to the next one. That got hot. And by the way, we make these down just above a half inch, but there are some people, like we've mentioned in other lives, who need a thicker pen or who need a thinner pen. And we're happy to accommodate that and leave it thick or cut it down. I mean, if I leave it thick, it's just less labor for me, so that's a win. If it's more thin, then we just take more off. That's feeling good. Yep, I can already see that this is going to be brilliant. Man alive, it just, every single one of these probably sound like a broken record. But beauty is beauty. Can't deny it, right? All right, feeling good. Yes, ma'am, Stephanie, that's true. And you know what? There are some pens out there that I probably wouldn't use day to day, but man, they are gorgeous. And I would probably buy them and just sit them next to my painting so I could admire them. There's some very theme ones, people put those little things with like the lava lamp thing or the glitter that goes back and forth, and those are awesome. Absolutely beautiful. They do a good job. I know what the labor it takes to do them. They're not making, millions of dollars doing it, but they're having a good time and creating a really wonderful pen. Just in my personal opinion, I wouldn't use that for 5 or 6 hours. But they are gorgeous. No denying that. All right. Last grid of paper coming up. You know what, Judy? Yes, the answer to that is, and I have a mold on the way that is actually a two-part mold. It might be $5 or $6 more than the regular blank because of the time it takes, but you essentially pour the white first, and it's a mold that has these strips. So you pour the white first, and then you pull that out of the mold, and then you put it down into a blank cavity, and you pour the red and the green down inside the stripes. So it'll be a striped pen. It'll look like a candy cane, red and green, red only. We don't know what we're going to do yet, but the mold literally was finished today, and it's on the way. So we'll have it in a few days. So we got to start pouring those and figuring out how to do that mold. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. All right, that's very nice, very nice. Okay, let's clean it up. So we will have some Christmas themed pen coming out soon. We're a little late for the game. I mean, even, Halloween is, a month ago getting ready for it. It's funny is when I used to run my Walmart, people would always exclaim in August why we're putting up all these Christmas trees and Christmas decorations and all that kind of stuff. And it took me a little while to figure it out. But the reason is it takes most people in this country anyway, 5 or 6 paydays to put on Christmas for their families. So the seasons of Christmas are decorate the outside, decorate the inside, and then gifts. But you got to get that out early so they can use their paychecks as they budget to get what they need to throw their Christmas. So it really made sense that all this stuff you'll see at Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart, Target, whatever, is August. You're like, man, goodness. We just got over July 4th and we're already getting ready for Christmas. Yeah, that's why. And makes total sense, right? I need some more juice on this one. That got a little dry from the heat. I want to get some shininess on this baby. Oh, there we go. That's better. All right, there it is. Let's check this one out now. Oh, yeah, so that's a really good mix there because the black has the starlight dust in it, and the orange has like the big shiny glitter in it. That's gorgeous. Let me put my hand behind there, see if we can get it to focus on it. That came out really nice. A lot more black in there than it was turning, which is really cool. Now, let's show you the vases butt to butt and head to head. So when I did the green, black, and purple one, I made the bottom of the vase here towards the center. And when I did the orange one, I put the butt of the vase or the bottom of the vase towards the outside. Yeah, Stephanie, for sure. Getting ready for Hanukkah. It's going to be earlier. And I had a lot of my customers, they were in there buying that leftover Christmas and Hanukkah stuff right at January, just scooping it all up. So that's the butt to butt and the head to head of the vases. So I cut all these blanks down. I want to show you the consideration I give when I'm cutting a blank down. So this blank was 6 inches long when we started, and Judy would like it 5 inches long. So I took a piece off, and the piece I took off was 100% purple. I would hate to take off this end here because it's going to be the mixture of all those colors. So you never want to cut that off. You want to cut this solid off because, you know, there's where all the action is. First out of Hanukkah is December 7th this year. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We all love to celebrate. I love traditions, celebrations, all that good stuff. Now, this was a solid resin. It's got some metallic mica in it, but that's not glitter. That's actually resin. And I think this is called the hookah, isn't it, or the Kevin pen. Now we got to figure out what to do with this one because this is going to be a very dramatic end. Not so dramatic down here because it's all purple. And then once we cut into this, it's going to be gorgeous. I think I'm going to just do wavy balls on this one. We'll give it some good 5/8 inch ends. Let's find the center. And then we will do not vases this time, but we'll do just like waves of balls. So we'll make this a little bit larger. Spread that out. Do I have enough real estate? Yeah. Not really. Yeah, I think that should be good. Here we go. Scribe some lines in there. Oh, this isn't Kevin. I didn't know which one it was. All right, here we go. Ah, that Illuminite slow clear turns. Literally, that's so smooth it's almost finished. Ooh, look at that red coming out there on that end. That's pretty cool. Dying to know what it looks like when we're all done. I'd almost call this Crayola crayon because it looks like a box of melted crayons. Now look, as I dive into this, you would think that was all purple, but all this green and stuff is coming out. Very cool. I love it. Absolutely love it. So we're getting a little more action on that purple end than I initially thought we would. All right, so what I'm going to do here, because these ends get so close, I'm going to do 3 dives, and that'll give us some pretty cool balls. Waves, if you will. And that should show off the interior where all the action's happening. And by the way, if I sound like I know what I'm doing, I don't. I'm literally just making it up. Just trying to have an idea of discovery and excitement and the way these colors go. Now, if I were to come down and dig these out, that would be way too close to the end. So this will be just finished as one of the extra balls that turns into a handle or a finger grip. Wow, look at that. Just when you thought we were going to have purple halfway down, it's completely turning. Too cool. Here we go. Next on the hit parade is a wooden and resin mix. That should be fun. Ooh, that's smooth already. Let's see how we're doing for finger holds. Yep, still a little fat, right about 0.56. Take just a little trim off of there. Oh, that's going to look so wild. Oh my goodness. I love it. Wish I could take credit for making these great blanks, because my goodness. All right. Okay, let's check out that finger holds now. Perfect. On the money. Love it. 0.53. By the time we sand it down, it'll be 0.52, and that's just about perfect. All right, here we go. This will finish up real quick. Stephanie, we should come up with a Hanukkah design. Get enough bumps for one bump for each part of the menorah. Definitely have to be a 6-inch pen. That might be pretty cool. Not sure how that would work, but probably come up with something. What colors would it be, Stephanie? Would it be gold and ivory? Wouldn't that look wild? Gold and ivory? Woo. Is there any certain number we should stick with for the things that represent? Because I know menorahs have, I've seen them with 5 candles and sometimes with, seem like a lot more, maybe 11 candles. I'm sure some are just abbreviated menorahs to put in the window or something. I have to think about that and throw me some ideas what it would look like and or what colors would be in it. Whew, that's so smooth. All right, let's get all the grit off. This is going to be a wild pen. They all are. This was going to be much more colorful than I thought it would be. 8 candles. Okay. Carrie, who made this blank? Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, I didn't even think it would come out like that. Wow. Look at that mixture right in there. That's wild. Looks like a peacock. Look at that, Judy. I'm not sure if that's candy or what, but my goodness. Hope that doesn't focus too well on the screen, does it? Wish I could get that to focus better because of course, everybody knows in person these are 100 times better. Beautiful. That is nifty. And there you go, Judy. Your 4 pens. 4 5-inch pens. Got a little bit of everything in this tonight. You know, Stephanie, I don't know what goes with it either. I remember when I was a kid back in Connecticut, or an adult man back in Connecticut and New York, that they thought they were ivory colored menorahs in the windows, but that might have just been a commercial store-bought type of thing, you know. And I might not have been paying much attention. Now this next one is stabilized wood. And by stabilizing the wood, they actually use a vacuum chamber to pull the air out of it and have the resin fill that void. And that way it becomes sort of hard and doesn't pick up all the resin for when you're pouring it in there. That way the color stays fully separated. Great blanks, Judy. Truly, Stephanie's 100% right. White, blue, and silver. Well, we got white, blue, and silver. We could figure something out. Okay, so here we go. First thing we got to do is round it. So that's the first thing we'll do. almost round. All right, now we're round. Now what to do? Silver, blue, and white, Carrie. Silver, blue, and white. All right, now got to figure out what to do with this thing. Never turned any wood, so we'll have to see how this goes. I'm going to give it a very, I'm going to go to 3/4 of an inch. Give it a really long, sloping finger grip. And then we'll figure out what to do in the middle. All right, let's see how we're doing for measurements here. .6, .55. Okay, so we got a little bit more of that wood to take off. Now the grain's looking pretty cool. All right, so now this is going to become pretty brilliant and clear when I see through there. So I really don't want to mess this up here. Let's see, where's my halfway mark? If that's over here, that would be perfect. Let's see, this is 5 3/4 long. That would be 2 5 3/4 and a half. So 6. That's an 1/8 inch less than that. So that's the middle right there. Ooh, that might work out pretty cool. 5 3/4. That's 2.5, and then 3/8. 2.5. Yeah, it's right there. 2.5 and. All right, that might work out pretty good. I think I'm going to do just a simple dive in there so that I can polish this up, and you'll be able to see inside and see the end of that chunk of wood. In fact, I'll probably even take a little bit of artistic license and move it that way just a little bit so that we don't have too much of a curve where that wood is going to show through. There we go. We'll move it over about 1/8 of an inch. And no one will be able to really tell I moved it over 1/8 of an inch. Because they'll be mesmerized by the end of that wood showing through there, I think. All right, let me measure those finger holes, and that one might be done. Yep, and on the money. Beautiful. All right. I think that's it. I think we're going to have to finish this one and be done with it. That wood's starting to look pretty cool down there. Can't wait to see when we sand it up what it looks like. We use a little bit of this super low grit on this wood part. Water in there now. Yeah, it's a weird, that transition between the wood and the resin. All right, that should be good there. Now we'll start taking the grits down. All right. This is a new, oh, I forgot my diaper. Getting my metal all wet down there. I'm so excited to finish up this blank. This grab's very funny right in here because it's sort of like half of the softer wood and then half of the hard resin. So I'm actually going to, for the wood, I'm going to dry it out, and I've got some wood wax. So that is a bit of a wet paper towel. I'm going to take a dry paper towel, and the heat from turning along with the paper towel will pull all the moisture out. But it is sealed wood. It's been impregnated with resin in a vacuum chamber. They call that stabilized wood. That feels beautiful. All right, let's just stop it and see what we got here. Super interesting. Very cool. Can't wait to polish that up. Now, what I'm going to do with the wood right now, even though this is generally meant for stuff, I've got this stuff here called Bumblewood. It's a wood wax, and it is food safe. So even if you got it on your fingers, you're good to go. Made a combination of beeswax and vegetable oils. Take a little bit off of there, and then, of course, it's flipping everywhere because the minute I put on there, it's super hot. And I will spin it to build up the heat to allow the pores in the wood to open and pull in the wax and the oils. Beeswax and oil. Pretty warm. And now there's no reason to polish that up. So then we just polish up the resin. Now we will unveil it. And that looks pretty cool. So what I was hoping is you could see inside there where the wood is. I don't know what kind of wood that is, but that's got some pretty cool grain in it. And there's a little bit of that red glitter inside this blank. And by the way, that does look blue on the screen, but it is purple. Pretty interesting. Pretty cool looking. Now, I'll show you a silly pen I turned, and the reason I turned it way back when. I even put it in a group way back when. It didn't sell. Let's see, where's it at? But this is a pen. I was messing around one day and I just found this piece of wood, and it's a piece of bird's eye maple. And this piece of wood, along with all the worktop benches in my shop, came from a bowling alley, and they are the bowling alley lanes of the Route 66 bowl that was laid down in 1959 in Oklahoma City at the corner of Portland and Reno. That bowling alley is no longer there, but they did take the sign and move the sign for the Route 66 bowl to Shawnee, Oklahoma. And it's got another bowling alley out there, but it's not the same one. And I bought that bowling alley, and this was a piece of maple from that just happened to have this great bird's eye grain and luminescence in it, or whatever they call that, shininess. Anyway, it was a cute little idea. Nobody bought it. It's cool. That's about it. And, it was sort of just playing around. All right, let's see what we got next here. This is a Sailor Moon blank. I think there's a Diamond Art Club or something like that that's got the Sailor Moon in it. By the way, that hybrid blank was a 6-inch blank, or 5 3/4 of an inch. And by the way, if you're listening to the stream tonight and you happen to be in Facebook or Twitch, please come to our YouTube group to chat. Because that's where I'm monitoring. I'm not very good at doing all three yet, but we're getting there. All right, here we go. Let's see. What are we going to do on this one? This is going to have some pretty good action on the inside. I think I'm going to do a straight up 5/8 inch. No, I'm going to do the club foot thing. Let me find the center. There we go. Sort of liking that. Just can't tell you how fun this is. So much fun. Oh, this is Captain Marvel. That's even better. That's cool. All right, I'm going to come in here and give me a 5/8 inch spacing. That'll be good. Bring it down into that hookah level again. Oh, look at that red come through. That's pretty cool. There it is, the extended hookah. All right, let's do some measurements on the finger holds again. See where we're at. Perfect. Very good. Love it. Hello, everybody out there. Hope you're still having a good night. This will be the last pen for the night. This is a Captain Marvel. Do I have that right, Carrie? Captain Marvel pen. Got the red, white, blue, orange kind of deal. Blonde hair. Maybe Mrs. Captain Marvel. I don't know. Carrie names the pens. Ouch, that's hot. I think this might be very good ASMR. You're diamond painting and you're just sitting there, sitting back and listening and watching once in a while to a diamond painting pen being turned. Yeah, Captain Marvel. And of course, some of these are just blanks, right, Carrie, that you can direct how you want them turned. Some good bumps in there that really need turned down well. One little more piece of paper. I'm really using this lower grid up. A little bit of chat in there from the wobble on the blank. Beautiful, nice and smooth. Onward, upward to the next grid. All right, nice and smooth. Stephanie, I think you got me hooked on this hookah design. I love these little club feet or horns or whatever you mouthpieces or whatever you call these things. All right, there it is. Now we're going to clean it up, polish it, and see what it looks like. It's going to be pretty wild. Looks a whole lot different than when I started, so that'll be nifty. All right, here we go. Hello, Angel Lee Rose. How you doing? Nice to see you this evening. All right, here we go. We're going to stop this Captain Marvel right now. Oh, that's so cool. So wild when you open these blanks up. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Angel. Appreciate your kind words. It is a labor of fun, that is for sure. Having a great time doing it. All right, everybody. That is it for tonight. A couple of hours of turning keeps the doctor away. We shall see you very soon. Hopefully, we'll be streaming a few more times this week. Got to look at my work schedule, make sure I'm clear, and then we will be back on here turning stuff. Right now, we're all cut up on customer orders. Carrie will get those out very soon, probably tomorrow. And beyond that, we will be turning inventory, just like that Captain Pen and that hybrid purple in one. Thank you, Shantan. And thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, we actually made that blank. We can take the credit on that blank. It's Carrie chose all the colors and had me pour it, and it came out better than, quite frankly, I could imagine. But anyway, everybody have a good evening. Hope you had a great weekend. We hope your week goes very well this week. We shall talk to you soon. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Stephanie. See you guys later. Thank you, Shantan. Everybody have a good evening now.